grab a drink, because this is Hangover Time.
Where'd Alf go? What happened?
I don't know what happened. I'm using products. Like, I took my AirPod out and like it paused everything. I'm like, motherfucker, like, listen, technology. Like, why are you so fucking advanced? I just wanted to hear if there was ambient noise. Anyway, he win.
Sound old.
He win. Yeah, fucking. I hate Apple products. Like, just
Miss
give
you,
me an old
Brass.
school IBM. Oregon Trail. Let's fucking go. He win. He win. Listen, he win a game. He won a game. A game. I'm not gonna say a big game. I think it was a big game. We were talking about this before the show. Like, is this a big win? Is this an important win? Was this a fun win? Listen, they beat a team that is their equal. Like, we have to get to that point. Like, this when we all need to come together as a community, right? Woo side up and say, listen, the Heat are a play-in team. They beat another play-in team at home by 4 points. They scored over 100 points. Like, these are the little things, like little wins. Like, these are good things. These are things that we can build upon. Like, these are things we should be happy about. Like, we shouldn't be like, oh my God, they only beat the Jazz by 4. No, yes, you're the Heat, all right? The Heat should only beat the Jazz by 4, right? Like, it's not like some damning thing that he could only beat the Jazz by 4. Like, we're not at the point where we have 4 guys on the court better than anybody the Jazz have, because like I'd pick up a couple of them motherfuckers right now. Like, when you look at our team. But yes, Heat win, good win. Gained a game on the Atlanta Hawks. It's so sad. Like, it's so fucking sad. You guys hear what? Pull me out. I'm sorry. Bring me out. Hey, do you hear what I'm talking about?
Unfortunately.
I'm trying to like be positive, and I'm trying to like say, this is a good win. I'm happy that we picked up a game on the Atlanta Hawks to stay out of the 8th seed.
That's the reality of the team now. It's like we just celebrate these dumbass little achievements that
yay, they're not an 8th seed. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry to be a downer, guys. Like, it was a good win. Like, I'm trying.
Listen, they won. They beat a basketball team today.
They beat a professional.
They definitely did that.
They beat a professional basketball team that at the beginning of the season was trying to tank, and somehow caught fire with Lowry marketing. Anyway, I am Alphonse Sidney, aka Alf954. Welcome into the Miami Heat Beat post-game show, Hangover Time. If you're watching live on Twitch, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe. Send your bits. Let's get one of those hype trains going. I don't know what they mean, but they always mean good money for us. That's a good thing. If you're watching live on the 5 Reasons YouTube page, we love you as well. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, that like button. We like them too. They're good guys. That's why we broadcast on their page. If you're watching the replay on either the 5 Reasons YouTube or the Miami Heat Beat YouTube page, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're listening to the podcast tomorrow morning or later tonight at like 3 a.m. because you're a psycho, we love you the most, because that's where we make all of our money. Bring me out. Too late. I'm already out.
Already there.
Mid-season
Hey.
I was going to say, you're getting really good at those intros.
Huge sausage fest tonight, guys. Hey, how's everyone doing?
Yeah, we're doing, no Brass tonight. Well, I mean, he's here.
Oh, yeah, I got to say. No Brass. Brass got called in on some Secret Service shit. Ooh. I'm not allowed to divulge what's going on. Let's just say he got a phone call from the president and he had to be at work. So
he's still here though. He's helping out behind this. Like, there he is.
Fuck the Knicks.
Perfect.
He's there. He's hanging out.
In spirit.
Yeah. So, if you hear his voice behind the scenes, he's helping out today.
All right. So, G, listen, we haven't done this in a while. I feel like we've had so many losses on Hangover Time. It has been so long. It's not the same without Brass, because I guarantee you nobody's drinking anything fucking fancy. It's Monday night. None of us should be drinking. But let's find out what everybody's drinking and toast your player of the game. Someone said THT is a bargain bin Paul Pierce. Let me tell you something. The fact that motherfucker held up trades for years is wild to me. Like, absolutely fucking wild. Carly Tiana says, how many subs for G to button up his shirt? 10 subs,
10.
and we will and G will button up his shirt. 20, and he'll take it off. But yeah, THT,
30, and I put it back on.
Oh yeah, let's keep going. THT, I mean, golly, that guy. What was he, like 0 for 7 at one point? Like he makes Justice Winslow like first 2 years in the league look like Jordan. Like he just puts his head down and just barrels his way to the rim and has no plan once he gets there. It's amazing. I love it. G.
If Charles Barkley was the round mound of rebound, THT is the round mounds bar.
round mound of inefficiency. Giancarlo. G.
Yes.
Okay, turn the music off. It's doing it again.
But why? No, it's fine. No one's complained about it yet.
It's
we're
now
complaining.
that he says it, it's bad.
No, it's working totally fine.
No,
Yeah,
every
shut
time
up,
like you
Gino.
do this.
Shut up, Brass.
Every time you do it, like I start noticing the music, and I never know. It's when it goes to piano. It's like I'm like it's blaring in my
but
ears.
then Schmeathan says the music's too low. You're saying
No, Schmeathan is fucking with you. All right, Schmeathan. Like, have you not learned anything about Schmeathan at this point?
Damn, bro.
Carlo.
Shimon Carlo. Who was your player of the game, and what are you drinking?
Listen, my player of the game was Kyle Lowry. So the reason why my shirt's unbuttoned is I was on the 5 Reasons watch party, the playback, and I was unbuttoning a button for every 3 that Kyle hit. And the chat did not like it, but I did it for the fans. I just think he provided them a solid spark off the bench. I think they need his ball handling, his playmaking, and just kind of his just general energy. I liked what I saw today. And I'm having water because I had a wedding. Somebody had a wedding on a Sunday night at 7 p.m. That's like, I don't know. That should be illegal. I love you, Kat, but damn, that took a lot out of me. So I was a little hungover all day. So I need to refresh.
I think G unbuttoned his shirt for every time Jimmy changed his hairstyle. But we will get to that eventually. Brian Goins, it's been a minute. Brian, what are you drinking? If you're drinking, and who is your player of the game?
I don't have a drink on me right now because I left it downstairs. I was going to drink probably a primer water, but I rushed up here because I wanted to watch that close game downstairs before I got up and set up upstairs. And just neglected to bring it up. But if I had to pick a player of the game, I think I want to go with probably Jimmy. I know he kind of had some misses at the rim, and obviously he missed those 2 free throws towards the end of the game, but he still had a pretty good stat line by his standards. I do really like that he kept pulling his hair after every single quarter. I don't know what that was about. I'm sure we'll get to it later.
That's just watching the Heat.
People said
beyond
it was
that,
itchy.
Is that what it was?
They said that gets itchy and that you would do it too.
Who said that?
Twitter.
Listen, G, black people just be trying to fool G on Twitter. I'm sorry. We'll get to that in a minute. I wish Tiff and Bond were here to explain this to you, but go ahead.
It makes so much fun of me.
I'm just happy that I didn't walk off the court today.
Frankie, what are you drinking? If you're drinking, and who is your player of the game?
No drinks. My player of the game is Heat Twitter. Their accountability was phenomenal today. They held the whole team accountable. They responded. This is what we're here to watch. The fans holding the team accountable. They did their job.
Listen, Frankie, you're being sarcastic, and we got into it a little bit on the timeline the other day. Bam reads my Twitter account. All right. You guys remember when I posted a video and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? And Bam responded with an upside down smiley face. I'm still not sure exactly what that meant.
That was a threat.
But he's been much better ever since that tweet. Just saying.
Yeah.
I probably need to
hold
do
him accountable, Alf. Do your job.
You probably need to do another one because, stick them something on your fucking hands. I don't know what the fuck is happening with that dude.
I think he seeks it out, though. I think he interacted with one of my tweets, and it was a tweet where I think it was a night where Miles Plumlee was outplaying him in his rookie year. And clearly he didn't like that.
So
you?
Basically,
No, man, I don't know.
me and Bam are the same. We just seek out problems on Twitter. Christian, what are you drinking tonight, and who was your player of the game?
I might be getting sick. I don't know. So I'm having a little Alka-Seltzer Plus. And my player of the game was actually Gabe tonight. Tonight is why Spo plays him the amount that he does, especially with Kyle kind of been out and been struggling a little bit. And maybe, I don't really know what this whole bench thing is, but I guess we'll see what happens moving forward. But when Gabe is actually able to hit shots, his defense was on point tonight. He had 3 steals. It translates to the Heat just being a better team, and they were team best plus 15 tonight in his 27 minutes. He had a great game, and he'll probably spend the next 7 games going 4 of 27 from 3. At least we can enjoy this one.
My favorite part of the game is like at the beginning, Karate,'s like, he's been a reliable 3-point shooter for the Heat. And then Eric Reed's like, Gabe Vince has made only 2 of 3-pointers in the last 4 games. Bro, be a better teammate. Like right after he calls a motherfucker reliable. And then Karate spent like the next 4 possessions. Well, he gets the ball at the end of the shot clock. He rarely gets good looks. And I'm like,
man, he's really Heat Twitter. That's what Heat Twitter, how they protect their guys.
He was like, no, you're not going to embarrass me on TV. He's like, get
I
a
respect
motherfucker's
that.
name right, Eric. No,
he was struggling with that one guy. That one guy on Utah. Eric was struggling with his name.
Agbahi.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of tall white guys on Utah. At halftime, I don't know which one.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. He could not distinguish between Olynyk, Markkanen, and Kessler. Or whatever.
I don't, and even the Von Techi guy got whatever his name is.
Von
Techi. He got me a couple times. Like I honestly think the scorekeeper gave Markkanen 6 to 8 extra points. Just saying. My player of the game was Victor Oladipo. Why? Because he only shot the ball 5 fucking times.
That was huge.
Honestly, and he was super efficient. He was 80% from the floor, 3 for 4 from 3. Super efficient. I don't care if he missed all of them. If he only shot 5 times, he would have still been my fucking player of the game. Like, I don't listen. Bring me in, G. I want to talk to Vic.
You want to talk to the?
I want to talk to Vic. Just me and Vic. Everyone else, shut the fuck up. Victor Oladipo. If you fucking ever in your goddamn life shoot 9 3-pointers in a game again, I will fucking find you. I will hunt you down, and we will fight. You'll kick my ass. You will, but you will feel me, sir. You will fucking feel me.
Crazy.
No rant music. I'm done. I just want to talk to my man. 8, 9 3-pointers are fucking. What the fuck is wrong with him?
G's camera going out right now. It's perfect.
Gianni, have you gotten a different camera at any point in the last 5 years?
No.
So it's the same computer then?
No, it's the long story, but I know the problem.
All that money on action figures.
I've truly decided not to deal with it.
I mean, clearly.
I know exactly what the problem is, and I just decided that's too much trouble.
G and I did a Bleacher Report show live, and that happened mid-show, and I felt like the producer was freaking out because she cut him off, put me full screen, and I had to basically just talk by myself for a good 30 seconds while she didn't realize that his camera was going to come back on. Terrible.
Poor producer. Poor brass. Poor everybody. Giancarlo.
Yes, sir.
I keep calling you Giancarlo. I don't know why. Because I'm reading your name. G. Tonight, Bam Adebayo. Let's not talk about Bam first. Let's talk about Jimmy, right? Jimmy has been fucking amazing lately. Tonight, not his most efficient game. Missed a lot of bunnies. M. Vice says G acting like Pat Riley knows a problem but doesn't address it. That's right.
Unlike Chris Greer.
You must have a Mickey in the background holding the purse strings.
Brian.
Yeah, Brian won't let you buy a new cord. But listen, it won't let you get a real power forward. But G, Jimmy's been awesome lately. A little inefficient tonight, but just kind of talk about all the things Jimmy's been doing lately and just how fucking amazing he's been.
Man, he's legit. So Tiff and Bon asked, what does Jimmy need to do to have a fringe MVP case? And I'm like, at this point, it's just team success holding him back. Because they'd have to win out, right, and be spectacular. But he's
they mean this season?
Yeah. Like to get any consideration.
Another fucking COVID scare where everyone dies.
It's more than a COVID scare.
They need a COVID outbreak where fucking Giannis, Embiid, Jokic, the entire Celtics team, the entire Northeast.
He's played himself into an All NBA slot.
Julius Randle.
Fuck Randle.
Luka is somehow still mentioned, and the Mavericks are under 500.
How dare you mention Randall?
Fuck the
that
Knicks.
Thanks, Press.
that Kyrie Luka combination. Woo!
Really working.
Yeah, y'all wanted that motherfucker. Anyway, but yeah, are you
Legit-
done, G? 'Cause
Legit
you were
top 10
talking
player.
about this whole Jimmy and the MVP conversation. It's not going to happen.
There's a lot of advanced stats that argue he's a top 5 player this
No.
year.
Yeah, absolutely, Christian.
No,
And-
but we know that the voters would never give it to a team in the play-in.
No,
right?
of course not. Yeah.
Unless he was a white European. Word to Kendrick Perkins.
Oh,
Get him.
All
Yeah, I
NBA
said-
though? Does he get all
I'd say-
NBA?
Jimmy.
he's
oh,
gonna get
absolutely.
He needs to.
Jimmy.
Minimum second team. Like,
Jimmy?
Minimum.
Yeah, he's been incredible, and it's honestly like he's not an 82 game player, but he'll put these stretches together where you're just like, is he like prime Kawhi? And that I'm not joking. Like the shit he does is like what Kawhi would do, like on both ends. It's pretty remarkable.
Brian.
Yep.
Is there any chance that he get out of the play-in?
They're 3 back from both the Knicks and
2.5.
They play the Knicks twice.
Is
That
it
is
2.5? No,
They have
it's-
two
No,
games
they're
against
3
the Knicks.
back. They're 3 back.
Oh, I thought they were 2.5 after they won.
No,
Hold on.
Yeah,
it's 3.
Look how this dude spelled yurt.
yeah.
Yogurt, like it's almost like you
Yogurt.
just spell yogurt and put a T.
Yeah, who gives a fuck? Yer doesn't even deserve to get his name spelled
That's
right.
Christian's
I said it,
boy.
Christian.
Did you see it? Did you see that point in the game where Yurt came in for Bam and like late in the fourth quarter, and Jimmy looked at Spo and said, "What?"
I did not see that, but that is Yurt should not be playing in the fourth quarter.
He was
Bro,
like,
it was-
"You sure about that big guy?"
It was 6 minutes left, and they brought in Yurt. I'm like, listen, Bam did play 37 minutes, right? And he played about like 4 of them well, so I see why he needed a break. Brian, I'm just setting up Franky. I'm just setting up Franky. Brian, what was
No, that's not happening. They're going to stay at the 7th seed, I think, and they're going to make it to the play-in tournament.
No way.
Yeah.
Nah, they get the 6
how?
because they played the Knicks twice.
They lost to the Knicks already.
They're gonna beat
Yeah.
the Knicks. They're gonna beat Jalen fucking Brunson and Julius Randle. Those dudes suck.
They're
sorry.
basically 4 back from both teams that are ahead of them because they have the tiebreaker over Miami.
They're gonna
I
beat the
don't-
Knicks.
I
They're
don't
gonna
think
beat
it's
the Knicks
happening.
twice. Do you think the Knicks are gonna keep winning at a fucking 80% win rate? Fuck out of here, bro. They're the Knicks.
No, but I think the Heat are going to still win at a 50% rate. So.
Yeah,
I think
That's
hey,
the problem.
the
like,
schedule eases up. You know what I mean? They got
The
Does it?
babies.
That
I
hasn't
feel like
mattered
that,
all
I feel like it
season.
gets harder every time we play like these easier teams.
Not the Magic, bro. The Magic, that team's scary.
Charlotte's scary. Every team is
stop with
scary.
it. Everybody's
sucks.
scary.
No,
A
Sucks.
top
Scary.
5 lottery team is scary. All of a
Yeah, dude,
sudden?
that team, that
Come on,
fucking,
like,
that
Charlotte
Paolo
beat the
guy.
Heat too. Like,
Yeah, that those fucking the Franz kids, the Wagner kids. It's a
The
lot of
Wagners.
size. A lot of size.
Like you're talking
Watch
about
out,
the
flex
Knicks.
players, man.
The Knicks can't maintain that winning pace. They don't have to. They went on a 3-game losing streak and we gained no ground.
Yeah,
None.
pissed me off. Pat Riley should-
Like we because we lost to the fucking Magic. Like they could have been like a game and a half back today if they just beat the fucking Magic. It's the Heat will continue to just keep shooting themselves in the foot because even tonight, you know, like a game where Gabe Vincent is shooting that hot from 3. Victor Oladipo was hot from 3. Like you should be able to create some distance, Frankie. Like I know the Jazz are decent and they're just as decent as a Heat, but like if they can't create any distance between them and the Jazz, like on a night where they're actually shooting well from 3, like what are we doing?
that's this season's Heat team. They have no room for error, no margin for error. They can never pull away from teams. Even nights like tonight where they shoot the ball well, they can't defend well enough because they rely so heavily on turnovers for good defense. It's always one thing or the other. This team has not put together a consistent stretch of basketball all season.
What's the last team we blew out like by more than like 5 or 6 points?
Was it the Pelicans game?
Yeah, I think it was the Pelicans.
Jesus Christ. That
Or was it the Bucks without Giannis?
It was the Bucks without Giannis.
Might have been. I don't know.
I think that might be the last double-digit win.
It's insane.
Yeah, they're just not. I mean, our point differential. If we went by point differential, I think we'd be out of the playoffs. No, we'd still.
Yeah, we would be. It's
No,
been
we'd
that way
be
for a while.
January 18th
you're right. We beat.
against the
We're
Pelicans. Last
we're
double-digit
11.
win.
Yeah, we're 11th in point differential.
That's
Have been
almost
for
2
a
months
while.
ago, Frankie.
They were
we're
close
March
against
15th.
Atlanta. They won. They won by 8. Oh, that was close.
We have a worse point differential than the Washington Wizards.
Hell yeah, we do.
Christian, what do you think of the Kevin
Fuck
Love?
the Knicks.
Yeah, them too. What do you think of What do you think of Kevin Love in the starting lineup?
I like it
Because
man.
I saw you kind of battle back against some of that, some of the really shitty goalpost moving,
I
and
mean,
like,
like
go ahead.
first of all, Kevin Love wasn't playing a ton this season in Cleveland, right? Like,
Yeah, he had an injury.
yeah, like, probably gonna take him a little bit to get used to like the level of play that he's gonna experience, and he looked a lot better tonight, and he's had some decent games in the last like week or so, so I think he's getting his bearings. And one of the things that I really like seeing with him is, teams have to respect him from outside, even if he hasn't been shooting the ball great since he's been here. But they have to respect him, and like, there's been a couple times where like he's made really nice entry passes to Bam, like from the perimeter. And having a complementary player like that, for somebody who we're hoping will kind of be more assertive. So, it was a little disappointing that Bam kind of was completely overshadowed by Markkanen tonight. But I like Love with Bam in general, and he's a savvy vet. Like, he'll be a guy you want to have in the playoffs, assuming he's not just bricking every shot.
All right, so getting back to Bam, Frankie. So just Jared says, is it just me or does Lowry look less fat? He does. He looks actually pretty slim.
I have a theory.
Oh god.
Go
Do you
ahead.
know those like fajas that like women put to like tuck everything in?
Yes.
I think that Kyle's wearing a faja.
I like this theory.
A waist trainer.
I think so. And I because he looks slim on the bench, but he still waddles and his arms jiggle.
You
So
think he's doing that for Pat?
I think so.
got
I
this
think he's
shit
trying to
going?
pull one over on the organization. Yeah.
No, what
Yo, Pat's gonna turn 79 this year.
what I think it is professional basketball makes Kyle Lowry fat. It's weird because like every summer
Yeah,
he looks
true.
slim,
Mm.
right? He takes 2 weeks off from professional basketball. He starts to slim down, but somehow playing professional basketball just makes him fat, which is like the obvious opposite of me. Like every summer I get fatter, which is weird. But Frankie,
Yo, can I want to say something real quick. So I'm trying to mod our Twitch chat because they're posting a crypto scam, and when I went to report, the options are it's like harassment, nudity or porn, and then terrorism. What the fuck is going on in
Go
Twitch
to
headquarters?
dodgehype.com.
I banned them. Don't worry.
Wow,
Don't
sounds
read that
tight.
out loud. Yeah, thank you, Frankie. I was trying to get that shit out of there. And I was like, terrorism.
listen, there have been some YouTube comments from the 5 Reason channel that would fucking
It's just-
categorize as terrorism.
Mhm.
Frankie,
Yep.
tonight I'm watching Bam,
Okay.
as we all were. All right, because me and you got not really into it a lot on the timeline. It was not nearly as bad as me and Jack Alfonso.
Eat beef.
Well, okay, so I want to, because people have been coming at me a little bit about my Bam takes. My Bam takes are this: he has been shitty from about 2 to 3 games before the All-Star break through now.
Oh, yes.
Shitty for Bam.
Standards.
Okay, yeah, that's
Shitty for Bam.
distinction, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
He has been not playing up to Bam standards that we saw at the beginning of the year.
Agreed.
He has taken a step back.
Agreed.
Not a regression. It's not the rest of his career isn't going to look like this. Like people always extrapolate, like he had 2 bad games. Well, that means he's going to suck for the rest of his life. Like
Agreed.
I'm not doing that shit. He has not been good. And one of my things is like I'm so tired of everyone blaming the guards because these are the same fucking guards he was playing with all year. Now, someone pointed out to me, Jack Alfonso, that there was a 30-11 game mixed in. If you guys remember that 30-11 game, someone posted the highlights. Every time Bam got the ball, he looked at the basket and did something fucking decisive. Like his passes were decisive, his drives were decisive, his shots were decisive. Defensively, he was playing his ass off. I've seen that Bam once in like the last 3 weeks.
You know what he was doing a few times tonight? What he used to do with Duncan, where he would just sit on the perimeter waiting for somebody to get the fucking ball. It's like, dude, what are you doing?
Like, there's no dunking out. Who the fuck are you turning your back to the basket for? Max Strus? He hasn't hit a shot since fucking December. Like, that's what I'm fucking talking about. It's not about that the guards aren't throwing him good passes. Nobody's looking for Bam. Nothing has changed in that aspect. What has changed is that Bam has started to sit at the fucking free throw line extended, looking for fucking cutters and looking like, go to the fucking basket. Your team is trash. Like, I don't know what he's doing anymore. And one last thing, Frankie, Jimmy had the ball. Bam, like, they just left Bam. Right? It was in the fourth quarter or something. He has like a free run to the rim. So Jimmy throws him a leading pass. Bam, instead of going to get the pass, does this. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Now, know what you guys are going to say? It was a bad pass. No, it wasn't a fucking bad pass. Bam, get your big ass to the fucking rim. There was nobody there. And now, Bam flails, and they grab the ball. They're going back the other way, and Bam is talking to Jimmy about the pass. And Walter Kessler, Wallace, whatever the fuck his name is, runs right past Bam, and gets a fucking dunk on the other end.
Yeah.
Embarrassing shit. And Bam has been doing a ton of that shit over the last 3 weeks. And that's my fucking problem with him. Not because Gabe Vincent doesn't throw a good entry pass.
He also has Joe Anthony hands for some reason. His dribbling sucks. I don't know why he's turning the ball over like 5 times a game now at this point. It's
stripped down low, dribbling off his foot, throwing it off his fucking knee.
He's always done that, though. That's not a new thing. He's
been a lot better this year. Bam's
always had a sloppy handle. We talked in the beginning of the season. We talked about that Bam's averaging 5 turnovers a game. He needs to pick it up. That's always been Bam. Like my thing was, I didn't blame the guards. That was your argument with Jack. I didn't blame them.
I can't remember.
I'm saying when my thing wasn't about this 2-week stretch of Bam playing bad. Bam's been bad. I said Bam's been bad. My thing was this team is mediocre. When Bam was great, they were mediocre. When Bam's bad, they're mediocre. They're just a mediocre team. You talked about it in the chat. If Bam would have had just given them 20 against the Magic, if they would have just given if the guards would have given Jimmy the ball in overtime, they would have still found a way to lose the game because this is who they are all season. Like, believe this team. Like, there's just because Jimmy's playing outstanding this last 2 weeks doesn't mean that this team is suddenly a good team. Somebody posted a stat. I think it was John Jablanca, that with Jimmy's during this stretch, they're being outscored with Jimmy on the court.
Is that they're being outscored?
They have a negative 0.01 rating with Jimmy on the court during this stretch.
That's because everyone else sucks.
That's because this team sucks. It's not Bam's fault this team sucks. This team just sucks. And it's not, and that's what I was saying. Like, people were blaming Bam for the season. It's not Bam's fault for the season.
No. See,
that's what I was saying.
That's where I would go.
I'm saying Bam's been bad,
nuts.
flat out. Bam's been bad this stretch. I'm not excusing that. I'm saying this season, they're a bad fucking team. Why are we blaming? Tyler's getting a stretch where he's been bad. It's not his fault either. Like, everybody's had a fucking bad stretch this season besides Jimmy.
See, and I agree with you. There's a difference between blame, right, and just like I don't know, and that's why I feel like Christian. I'm just so much more comfortable going from game to game. I try, and after a while, you can extrapolate throughout the rest of the season. But, like, you would swear to God, like, and I find it funny and I feed into it. Like, Duncan has like a 3 for 8 night, and everyone's like, see, we should have been playing Duncan Robinson all season. And I'm like, yeah, bitch.
so true.
Like, I don't know what playing Duncan that much would have helped. Like, I think everyone does this thing where they latch onto their narrative and they just extrapolate it out. Like, you know how many people have been waiting? I forget his name. It's like Camo something. He's in the chat right now. He's been waiting for Bam to have a bad stretch. Like, just lurking. The second Bam has a bad stretch, this motherfucker pops out like a jack in the box. Like, could not fucking wait.
The craziest thing is Bam's shooting like 53%. He's averaging like 16 and 53%. Like, it's not even like awful. It's just not as good as what we've been expecting.
But I will say Bam's box scores have been lying to you.
lying.
Like they have been deceiving as
They've
fuck.
been a little empty.
Like he would just go on a stretch where he scores 12 straight in the third quarter and then scores 6 points the rest of the game. And then it's like, oh, he had 18. Yeah.
Alf, you know what stat?
And 1 rebound.
What the stat that doesn't lie to me is so pre All-Star break and post All-Star break, Bam's rebounding goes from 10 to 6. And that to me is like where you tell the effort and kind of the intensity and the gear that he's playing at. Because like he's averaging 18 on 53% shooting. He's getting to the line one fewer time a game. His free throw shooting is about the same. His numbers are about the same except for kind of the scoring and the percentages, but the rebounding drops a ton. His usage also drops 3%. And he used to be, when he was on the floor, just raw plus minus, he was plus 2.7. And post All-Star break, he's minus 4.8, which is that 6-point gulf is enormous. And I think that coupled with the rebounding really tells you the story of like his post All-Star break kind of stretch, which Franky's right. 18 on 53% shooting is like pretty good, but it's not what they need. They can't survive him being mediocre.
They need him to be fucking perfect for this team to have a chance. They need him and Jimmy to be perfect to have a chance. And that's
I don't think 22 and
the team.
I don't think 22 and 10 is perfect. I think that's
but like I'm
that's
talking
what
about
he
defensively. I'm talking about defensively. Like he's been sloppy defensively, and that's where it's hurt them the most.
Yeah, for sure.
His lack of eliteness on defense lately. I don't know what you want to attribute that to. If it's the lineups, if he's just playing poor, I don't want to excuse it. He's playing poorly, but I'm saying this team has been mediocre all season long, and where like a 2-week stretch of Bam playing mediocre does not fucking blame him for the whole season.
No, I don't. I think anybody blaming him for the season is just being completely disingenuous, and I don't think those people really like deserve a look.
And that's all I was talking.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I'm totally with you. I think like, you know, he's just like not playing up to the level that I think we expect him to be.
Yeah,
and I think I think Alf, I think you and I feel the same way. Like, I think we're just disappointed because like we thought he had turned a corner of consistency, and it's just like, damn, that just sucks.
The biggest problem is the fact that his backups have been like reliable. Like the thing is, if you just said, all right, I'm gonna ask Christian the question.
Quick question, G.
I have no questions. I'm just rebounding.
Smith, we're waiting for the yurt topic. That's Christian's charging up.
G, how's their team rebounding? Because somebody in the chat mentioned the Love addition, if that's affecting him.
What did I do?
I love Christian.
Give us a small sample. Come on, give us a small sample.
Painting every single time in the background.
Just chilling there.
So they're 7th in rebounding currently.
Since the break?
That's just like all together. Post All-Star break, their defensive rebounding is that's
Just
down
segment
25th. I had to scroll.
Okay. I think something we have to consider with the rebounding numbers, though, is that he's playing with Kevin Love. And Kevin Love gets a lot of rebounds. So
that's why I asked about the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're 25th in defensive rebounding.
Is that because all their shots are going in for the other team?
Post All-Star break?
Yeah. So, Christian, what's interesting is that Bam plus Love, those numbers aren't actually that bad on defense. Like, that part to me has been a little kind of crazy.
Well, I mean, they're sharing the court with Jimmy and Gabe Vincent, and
but there's Tyler there.
It's been better this season.
Like Tyler's there as well, so it's like I'm not.
I mean, yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's, I don't know. I want to put up the numbers, Christian, because I think that they're like super telling of a lot of like that's weird, bro. Like this chart is weird. Like Kevin without Bam is plus 23 per 100 possessions. Bam without Kevin is minus 8, and that's only in games that they've played together.
Yeah,
and Bam and Kevin together have been bad.
I mean, obviously 35 minutes is a pretty small sample, but even
for sure.
I mean, 145 offensive rating in 35 minutes is still pretty damn alarming. Like
that's crazy. But the Bam without Love numbers, almost minus 9 per 100 possessions. That in only games that they've played together is pretty crazy.
Because Bam has been the issue, not fucking Kevin Love.
No, this team sucks, man. It's like, why are we ignoring?
Why are we saying? Wait, why can't we just say Bam has sucked?
I'm saying both is true. Bam has sucked.
No,
since
say it
but
louder.
the team has
So
I
sucked
don't
all
think the
season.
team sucks. I mean,
They're
they're
a
not
minus 0.8 net rating. They have
okay, but they're not
lot of net
they're not the
rating.
Pistons. Like
Right,
they
but
don't.
it's like what Alf said before. It's a game-to-game thing, and
They're
that's
just
because
okay.
the only player on that team that you know you're going to get every single night is Jimmy.
Not
And
even
so-
Jimmy, because Jimmy has those weird nights where he like looks like he doesn't want to be there.
Dude, he's been like a top 5, top 6.
No, for sure,
Like,
absolutely. I mean,
he's still doing it every night. He may not be 30 points every night, but like tonight, he had 4 steals, 4 assists, like a couple blocks, like just doing everything. Like
3 different hairstyles,
yeah, dude, incredible.
Wait.
talent.
What'd you say, G?
3 different hairstyles.
Oh, do we have anything? Do
it.
to kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
document
glad.
what
So
happened with his hair tonight. I should have got to this earlier.
we have some. I don't know how you feel about this, Alf.
That's a cry.
This
for
is.
help.
I wish Tiff and Bond were here so they can kind of explain this better. This is you are in the middle of getting your hair done, and your mom got called into work.
the parting of the Red
So
Sea.
now you're out in the streets looking crazy, and then you're getting talked about by other people's parents. That's what this look is.
It kinda
Somebody on
looks like a
Twitter
bow
said
tie.
this looks like a cry for help.
Yeah, that's exactly.
So I mean, throughout the game, Jimmy's hair was
Oh, I did
it was
not see that
transforming.
one.
Yikes.
Alf, what's going on? You're muted. You're talking. The sounds are not. You're the only person qualified to talk about this. And you're.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you guys
Okay.
hear me?
Yeah.
So, I was so scared.
So this is the prison braid, okay? So you're halfway through braiding, all right, and there's been a riot. Somebody got stabbed with a sharpened toothbrush, and now you gotta go back to your cell, and then so hopefully during next yard time you get the rest of it finished.
But like that's not actually his hair, right? That's like a piece he has on.
No, what are you talking? That's the. This is so culturally ignorant.
It's not February anymore.
When you take the braids out, that's what it looks like.
Oh, I just didn't realize he had been growing his hair out that long.
Brash Jazz says, shout out to Madam CJ Walker, Black Hotel.
So at this point, his hair it looks like it's changing into a different style. Alf, it looks more.
No, he's just taking out his braids.
He's taking it out. Yeah. So he's just kind of over it.
No, Jimmy, listen, Jimmy's the most calculated motherfucker on earth. Like, Jimmy wanted to take his braids out and decided to do it in the middle of a game. It is one of the fucking most gangster shits I've ever seen in my life. Like, he just decided, fuck it. I'm like, taking your braids out is a normal fucking thing. It's almost like you get a different texture to your hair. Like, it's a thing people do. And then, you got your nice little texture or whatever. Jimmy just did it during the middle of a fucking game.
An NBA game.
That shit is unheard of because Jimmy's a troll and he likes to fuck with people. And then
That's his
now he's
final
got
form.
the full twist out. Let's go.
Killed it.
I love it.
Had more hairstyles than Bam had rebounds, I think.
He's also doing the post game shirtless.
I fucking love him, bro.
So Paul Lottie Jr. said to reverse Iverson. You guys remember when Iverson got his hair braided during the game?
Yeah, classic
Yes.
NBA moment.
This is the exactly. It's the reverse. It's beautiful. Tyler was so jealous he didn't have braids to take out. Correct. All right, let's get to a next segment. That was a Jimmy Crazy Hair
That was the
slideshow.
funniest tweet of the night.
What's that?
That was the funniest message of the night.
Tyler. Let's go to our gaga of the game.
It was a Ben Wallace. Shout out CB0.
Are you guys? So
Play
I'm excited for this.
I don't remember what this was.
So we have two today.
So this is the Jazz trying to tie it up. Gaga. Get that shit out of here. Not exactly the Jason Tatum block, but like Bam, like this was like one of the few times Bam made a motherfucker think twice defensively, and it was beautiful. Like This dude didn't know whether to go for a layup, try to pass it to Alec Kessler, Walter Kessler, Wallace.
Look at that extension.
Did he
Look at the
actually
Crochet.
touch it?
Yeah, he did.
man. That guy sucks, huh?
I think he just lost it in his hand.
No.
No.
Well, the thing
Oh,
is,
yo, he touched it. He touched it.
he touched it. He altered it. It wasn't even
He
about
altered
the
it
block.
100%, but I don't know if he actually.
No, he got a
touched
finger on it. Look at the end.
Yeah, no, he gets it right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
he
see
took
how the
it out of his
ball-
hand.
Yeah, no, he got it. He got
It
it.
shifts.
Man, even on his bad nights, he does.
That's
shit
for
like this.
beating Miami in the tournament last year.
But the thing,
Oh, is that guy
the
in
presence of
Kansas?
mind not
Yeah,
to
that was
just
the guy
go
from
straight
Kansas.
up and down on some Roy Hibbert shit, and to just like track the ball and make sure that dump off didn't happen, because that's what happened. Like he fingered it exactly, Bron Stoker. He had no idea. Like he was like, okay, I got a layup. Oh, now I'll dump it off to Kessler. He couldn't do shit because Bam was all over that motherfucker, and that is the Bam Adebayo I miss. Despite Franky's constant defending of Bam, it's getting tiring.
Alf, we have another play that I think was honestly one of the biggest plays of the season. So we have Kyle Lowry. Look at this
God.
man. Look at that man pulling up. He hit that shit. Look at
Take
that.
another
Put him
button off.
up by 2.
There's like 8 minutes left here.
Shut up, G.
Stop, leave me alone, Brass. Fucking art, bro. Just art. Man, shout out to Kyle.
I will say those back-to-back threes were a pretty huge swing in that.
They were.
stretch of the fourth.
Schmeathan says Walker Kessler looks like the guy a politician pays to watch have sex with his wife.
Gee, you're supposed to unbutton a button.
Wait, like
Why?
Kessler is watching him have sex with his
No,
wife?
a politician is watching Walker Kessler have sex with his wife.
Oh, okay.
How have we gone
Yeah.
40 minutes without talking about Simone Fontecchio and this
Pinocchio?
the random scrub heat killer performance of a century? That guy, I don't think anybody had heard of this guy before the game.
His
Oh,
career high
Eric
before he
Reed
was
did.
18. Apparently.
Eric Reed is all about that.
He's a young, what's the name of the guy that was on the Wizards?
Gallo?
It's like-
Oh no,
no, I think his names are the same. I'll come back to it. I'll find it.
good contribution, Christian.
Killed
Thanks,
it.
Christian.
I like how Christian's lights went out.
Look at that
Well, I
man.
guess I'm
Gee,
looking for it
this is
now.
who G's trying to look like tonight.
I wish, bro. What an Adonis of a man. He really just went to do that shirtless. That man, listen, how many people get to actively question their boss on national TV? Like Spo fucking put Yurt in. This
Garrison
guy looks.
Matthews. God damn it.
Oh, that's right.
that
Yes,
guy. Yeah,
Garrison
yeah,
Matthews.
yeah.
Fucking Christ, that guy.
Brass
No,
says, "Gee,
Fontecchio was bad because he was like saucing on motherfuckers. Like he was real swaggy with it. Like he does this all the time. Like bitch, I'm
He's shooting
Fontecchio.
31% for 3 for the season.
What is he?
He's shooting 31% from 3, 35 from the floor. He's averaging 4.6 points per game. He dropped 23 on the Heat tonight. It was
In 30 minutes on 17 shots. No, that motherfucker was saucing. Like he was nasty. Like he looked like, he looked like he been here. He does this. Like this is my bag. I'm fucking Fontecchio.
Fontecchio. Mario fireballs at the fucking rim.
And I know it's funny, like watching Kelly Olynyk and Kevin Love go at it. Like it was just like when Kevin Love took that charge on Kelly Olynyk, like it literally, I thought it was like a slow motion replay. I was like, that was game speed.
I was like, what happened to my TV?
Then they showed the replay. That motherfucker was going in reverse. I was like, this is the slowest basketball play of all time.
do you remember COVID Kelly? I was remembering that watching him play.
Oh my god. When he
Remember
was
how
like,
fucking
Fucking
white
lick his
Kelly?
hands and wipe everything. I was like, oh god. In the middle of a fucking pandemic.
Is Kelly still shooting over 40% from 3 this year?
I bet he is.
I don't know, but I'd have him. I'd have him over Kevin Love
all day.
all day. And I like Kevin. By the way,
He's exactly 40 right now.
we're not seeing enough of like Kevin Love and Lowry minutes together, and I'm actually like curious as to what that looks like with two guys who really want to like throw the ball down court.
Very
I think-
slow.
I think if like they play with like Caleb and Tyler and some other guys. I think that it could be like and Bam. I think could be pretty interesting.
I love the fact that like their best attributes are like hit ahead passes with the 3 other guys in the starting lineup that don't run.
Yeah, they just need fucking Caleb and Bam are really the only dudes that run.
No,
and
Bam
Duncan.
doesn't run.
And Duncan.
Like, let's stop. In theory, Bam runs.
In theory.
Like in theory, like Walker Kessler shouldn't beat Bam down the floor. In theory. But
in theory.
Bam just doesn't run.
In theory.
And then poor Kevin Love. Kevin Love has no desire to fast break. It's the fun. Like
he wants to throw the ball, not run.
Kevin Love was guarding his man beyond the 3-point line. Jimmy has a steal in the paint, and Kevin Love just stops and starts walking. And like the rest, and Jimmy just has to pull it back out. Like shit, I guess not. Kevin's like, you ain't gonna make me run. I wear a t-shirt under my jersey for a reason. I'm gonna ask if G's AC broken. Hey, speaking of AC broken, I don't know what that means. I'm assuming Ethan has an AC sponsor.
Is Ethan at the Spurs arena?
Are we in San Antonio?
Yeah.
Let's go to one of our favorite segments where we bring in one of the guys from our rival podcast, 5 on the Floor, a segment we call Live on the Floor.
Well, I spared you from coming on shirtless like Jimmy just did. Did you guys see that?
Yes. Yes.
We've been staring at G's chest this whole night, so
it looks the same.
We did it better.
Yeah, it was we were just a couple guys.
I was just talking to Wes Goldberg on the way out of the interview room, and we're saying, is he more? Here's your options. Is Jimmy at this point? Is he more Tom Hanks in Castaway, or is he more Will Ferrell in Anchorman after his dog is kicked over the into the ocean? Which is he? Because he's one or the other.
Milk was a bad choice.
I think he's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Baxter.
And Wilson is PJ Tucker.
I don't give a fuck portion of the program. Basically, this is where it's at.
He's walking off the court, just cursing at people. He's back. Minnesota Jimmy's here.
He is. Unfortunately, so are all the third stringers that he was playing with in practice. But that's okay. It's.
I take Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
I take Jimmy Neroli and Tyus Jones.
Yeah, I might too. But yeah, he's kind of lost his mind lately. But I mean, it's in a good way from a playing perspective, and he's driving everybody in the building crazy. But he's also basically playing at like ridiculous efficiency levels at 31 minutes a night. So I guess if you're getting that, you learn to deal with it.
So Ethan, I do want to address that because I've seen some things on the timeline from Mike Ryan, from others talking about just how fed up the organization is with Jimmy Butler. And then you have Heat fans talking about trade him. He deserves better. I just want to see Jimmy win a title. I don't know where you're trading Jimmy to win a title right now. Like that's the part that's funny to me. Like, where are you trading him? The Bucks? Who are you taking back? Bobby Portis. But anyway, so what is the deal with that? Is it really is the relationship wearing thin? Like, what's going on there?
I mean, it's worn thin since the first day. He's Jimmy Butler. Like, there's nothing. I mean, I was told last season, like late in the year when I went up to Philly, like it was like everybody I saw on the road who I've known the organization a long time, they're like, you got to save us from Jimmy. He's driving us crazy. And I'm like, he's also saving your season. Like, it's just part of the deal. I mean, they dealt with Shaq, they dealt with LeBron, they dealt with all kinds of difficult personalities in different ways. He's probably the most difficult, but he's also playing at a level above his ridiculous contract. So I don't know how you could have a problem with it. They knew what came with it. I don't think it bothers Spo. And I'll tell you this, just talking to people around Jimmy, they have no problems with Spo. They got no problems with Andy. I don't really think they have problems with Pat. I think they have a problem with the luxury tax not being paid. So that's a higher level question. But he's not looking to get out of here. And they fully acknowledge that they created some of the problem by pushing Kyle Lowry on the organization. Like, you talk to people around Jimmy, they will say, we thought Kyle would be better. We pushed him on the organization. So I think they acknowledged their role in the limitations of the roster because that was a large chunk of money. So I don't really think that there's this huge issue. My issue, and when I got into the podcast today, is more like, what are you doing in Jimmy's window now that it's clear that you don't – look, we were having a conversation 3 weeks before the All-Star break on our pod, like, is Bam becoming the best player on this team? We're no longer having that conversation, okay? It's still Jimmy's team, squarely. And now the question is, are his number 2 and number 3 good enough? Because I'm not sure his number 4 through number 10 are good enough. And that's really the issue. It's not he's a pain in the ass. He's always been a pain in the ass behind the scenes. I mean, seriously, the PR staff wants to kill him. But, like, and they dealt with Bron. And the difference is you don't have Dwayne here. Like, the thing is, when LeBron came here, you had Dwayne. You got to teach him how the Heat did things. And he fell in line. That was part of the problem the last year LeBron was here, was that Dwayne was always hurt. But, like, with Jimmy, he's just going to do Jimmy things. That's what he's going to do. And it's like you roll your eyes. It's like the hot girl you're married to, and she's going to get drunk and crazy and beat the crap out of you, but you want to sleep with her the next day. So, okay, you keep her around. I'm not going to speak from any experience on that. Continue.
That was very
That's not impersonal as shit.
Jesus Christ.
That was what's
He
going on
was
there.
about to name names and shit.
He even just mentioned the crazy hot Matrix. Just now.
Essentially.
My God.
I mean, so what was the vibe today? Like, I guess, like, after he walks off the court and, like, people think he's quit on the team. Like, is it just night and day? Like, okay, they won, so they're all good? Or is it just like, is it still tension in there?
Well, here's the thing. We're not in there as much as we used to be, and it's not the same as it was before. Like, in the big 3 years, literally, you would go in the locker room, and there'd be 12 guys in there, okay, to talk to. And then Chris Bosh would stand in his locker and spray himself with cologne for 30 minutes and talk to everybody who came over. Okay?
King.
Like, that's how I got to know all those guys on that team. I mean, very, very well. That's not how it is now. They never practice. So they're never available to the media at practice, okay? Very few people travel anymore. I don't travel anymore, and that was the best place you used to be able to talk to them. Nobody's in the locker room pregame. And postgame, everybody just stands in the middle of the locker room. Nobody talks to the players, and so the players don't even come in there anymore. So you don't really have the interaction to get to see it, except I'll just say this. When I've seen other teams come in here this year, and part of it was the Knicks won at the last second and all that, I'm seeing the camaraderie in some of those rooms and the vibe in some of those rooms, and I just don't see that in the Heat room this year. I don't. Even going all the way back to training camp. Like, I was in the Bahamas, and I don't know. They've had a weird vibe there, too. Like, it sort of started there, and it's just like they came back and they were kind of sick of each other already. And it reminded me in a lot of ways of the 13-14 Heat season or of the 06-07 Heat season. Like, after, significant accomplishments, and those two teams had won championships. But after significant accomplishments, the teams came back, and it wasn't the same. And look, I had a conversation with Dragic. I might have mentioned this to you guys when he was here with Chicago about 6 weeks ago. And he said he's talked to people in the Heat organization and players. He talked to UD. He talked to guys he's still security, and he says it's miserable over there. So that's what Goran told me when he was down here. So, and he still wanted to be down here, by the way, because he thought he could help. Because he thought he could help change it. He loves Miami so much. But I'm just saying, like, it just has not had a feel good vibe the entire season. And there's other things going on behind the scenes that I'm not going to get into that some are dealing with that would explain some things that have happened, and I'm not going to touch on any of it, but it's kind of well known if you're around a little bit, and I think that's played into it, and maybe I'll tell some of you guys off air, but I'm not going to do it here. So it's just been a weird vibe, and it's felt like they just all kind of want to get to the finish line, take a crack at it, see if Jimmy can carry them for a series or out of the play-in, and then get into the summer. Like, that's how it has felt to me all season long.
Ethan, if that's the case, they don't have a lot of avenues to change the team, because like they probably should keep this pick that's coming up.
Yeah,
and they're up against, they're gonna be a tax team unless they do something pretty drastic, which would involve dumping your pick and assets for nothing. So I don't really see how they get better. I think even in a sign and trade, like, somebody's gonna have to want Lowry or Tyler or Duncan, which kind of looking a little dicey on that. And whether they bring back Max or Gabe, if they're all sick of each other, like, why would they? But they have a history of just bringing their guys back so they could have contracts later. I don't really see the avenue for them to make any substantial changes for a group that I think we all can see is just not together anymore.
No, I mean, look, Spoelstra rolled 10 guys tonight. I mean, he did the Hubie Brown 5-for-5 thing. I mean, he's just throwing shit at the wall.
And none of them Duncan, which I don't know what he did to Spo.
Well, Duncan available tonight?
Yes, Duncan was available.
Okay, Duncan was available tonight. So, I mean, look, he's throwing stuff at the wall right now. You mentioned Max and Gabe. Max was shut out of the rotation in the second half tonight.
Yeah.
I feel like Max and Gabe may have priced themselves back to Miami. If that sounds
that's
right.
bad, Ethan. That's bad.
I know, but it's like the way that they both play. But I'm not sure they'll be around. But look, Greg keeps talking about doing a shuffle similar to what they did after the 04-05 season, where they rebuilt the thing around Shaq and Dwayne, or the way they've done this before. Okay, where they kind of take the two players and then build around them. You're right. It's going to be difficult to do it, and Tyler is kind of the key piece to that. Like, what do you do with him? Do you attach him to the Lowry contract? They have to make a decision if this core of Jimmy, Bam, and Tyler is good enough to win a title. If they don't think so, then they could go in virtually any direction at this point, even though it's going to be complicated for them. I mean, they like Jovic. So I do think he gets a role next season if he's still here. So they do have some pieces that they can kind of play with, but they're not really well positioned to get it. And I don't know what star is going to be available this summer. The free agent market sucks. And look, unless Dame asks out, which is the only guy that I can really see, I don't know who the player is that's going to ask out at this stage. Like, I don't see the natural fit. I mean, one thing we heard, and we haven't really reported this widely, was Donovan Mitchell, for all the talk about him, yes, he wanted to play with Bam. We heard that he was a little bit concerned about playing with Jimmy. And so that's one of the reasons that he didn't ask to come here. Like, he would have come here. Yeah, well, the thing is, he would have come here, but he didn't. That's why he didn't go over the line to push for it. You know what I'm saying? And they need a guy to push for it. They need a guy to push for it like Jimmy pushed for it, because they're not in the best position with assets, and they never really have been. And I don't know that guy exists right now. Like, you almost need somebody who's part of the Dwayne tree that doesn't exist anymore. So Dame would be the one guy, but
Ethan,
I don't really see that happening.
The chat is killing you right now after a win. Like, they say you're killing the vibe.
He's right. Ethan's right.
Ethan's
right.
What vibe?
Coop was literally. Sorry. I say hi.
Get Ira on.
Iris had to
Ira
watch this all year long. Iris had. You know how much more hair Iris lost? He's had to watch 50 of these clutch games for a team going nowhere. So literally, Coop is sitting next to me at the game, and he goes, "Yeah, Utah's tanking right now." Like, Utah literally went to the 13th guy on their bench because I think Toscano Anderson gave him 2 minutes that were too good. Like, this team was not really trying to win against them tonight. Like,
come on, Lowry Markkinen was trying to win. So was Fontecchio.
Pinocchio? Look, dude was averaging 4.7 points a game in his rookie season. He's 27-year-old rookie.
That's a heat move.
In the first half. You want me to celebrate this shit?
That's a Rodney Magruder move.
How do you slip through Pat and Andy's fingers?
Off their touch.
He's a little young for one of their undrafted prospects. A little young.
Right.
A little young. So
Rodney
I'll try to be more positive, but
say something positive. Say something nice about the Heat.
How'd you feel about Kyle Lowry's performance these last two games?
Better.
Hey, there we go. You know what? A little moment with Gabe on the bench.
Do you realize how low the standards are? Hey, hold on, Brian. Do you realize how low the standards are? That basically I was praising him tonight for a $28 million player for 4 assists in 18 minutes.
Who had a better game, him or Gabe Vincent?
Well, tonight, Gabe.
Gabe tonight for sure.
Yeah, Gabe tonight. Although those back-to-back threes, Ethan, that was big time. That game-changing.
No, Ethan,
look,
I do.
he was better.
What's Gabe's record as a starter now? Because
hey, it's been good seeing you guys. I'm gonna go to Brady, and
exactly.
I'll see you later.
All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, that whole Gabe Vincent as a starter 7-2 record's gone to shit. I'll tell you that much.
Somebody asked, "Is Ethan okay?" None of us are okay. We got to cover this team. Except
one day we'll talk about the luxury tax for next year, but it ain't looking good, guys.
Brian's like a guy, Brian's the guy with the visor looking
I got
at
the
numbers.
spreadsheet open right now.
Yeah, Brian's like, it's not good, guys.
I remember
They would give Gabe and Max $8 million next year.
Yo,
We're
this-
looking at over $100 $100 million luxury tax.
I don't know what's gonna
Right.
crash harder, the banking system or like the Heat's finance.
I love the fact that people are like, "Oh, you got to get off of Kyle and Duncan's money." I'm like, it does nothing. It does nothing. It doesn't help you at all. Like
Yeah, it
that's
doesn't
how
make cash business.
badly they've set themselves up.
Do you know that Pat and Joe Biden are like the same age? They're like 79 and 80. Who's
Come
more
on, Jack.
awake?
Oh, God.
Sleep at the wheel.
That was your buzzer right there.
I know I wasn't ready.
Jesus Christ.
No,
Oh
I know
my
that's my
God.
bad. That's my bad.
And I got to sit here and try to make more jokes.
I know. That's that was on me.
That's
dude.
the season. That's the season.
Okay,
Who
chat's
else
like
was
trying to
really
give me
uncomfortable
banking
when-
takes.
when
I
this
just
went
wanted to
on?
make a
Mickey
joke.
needs to sell some boats. No, Mickey needs to burn some motherfucking boats.
And claim it for the
who else
insurance.
was
Another one.
uncomfortable when Ethan started